Profile, and I love my reaction to him. I said to him, God can do anything. I don't care what that computer says.
Wow.
So he says, he was like, you know, I guess he caught himself in the unbelief mode, the Thomas mode, you know. So I got up and I left, you know, and I went home, and my mother just said, you know, out of the clear blue, go to Clove Lakes Nursing Home. There's a lady that I know there, Mrs. Jensen. Right? This is in 1993. For all you youngins.
I was 13.
She was 7 years old. So when I go there, Mrs. Jensen, you know, she interviewed me and she says, oh, I know your mother. She goes, but I'm going to tell you something. We have a lot of positions open, but it's only temporary. So I don't want you coming to me when the 4 months is up and say, oh, you know, how come you can't, you know. But in my mind, I was like, if God got me in, you can't get me out.
Hello, somebody.
So I wind up working, right? I wind up working there, and I was working like I was going to be there forever. And there were a bunch of other guys that got hired along with me, but they were working with the attitude like, let's cut corners here, let's just do the bare minimum. But I treated my floor like I was doing maintenance there. But I cleaned those floors, I scrubbed and polished those floors, and I was working. And my supervisors would come up there, and you know, they never said nothing. They just, oh, you know, the floor looks really nice, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, holla, holla, holla. And then I would go read my Bible on my lunch break and stuff like that. And make a long story short, Danny, they came to me after like 4 months, and he says, Mr. Anderson wants to see you downstairs at the end of the day. So I was like, okay. So Mr. Anderson and the lady by the name of Shirley Torita, how do I remember their names? So I go in there, and Mr. Anderson and Shirley Torita say, listen, you knew when we hired you it was a temp job. But you treated and worked on the floor, and we're so impressed with your work that we're going to give you a full-time job.
Wow.
Don't clap your hands yet. I'll let you know when to do the drum roll, but I'm pumped. So they would tell me, but it's from 7 to 11. Now remember, I said I was so in love with God, I would have did anything for God. And I said to them, oh, I'm sorry, I can't take that. And they looked at me like, why not? And I was like, well, I go to church on Wednesdays and Friday nights, and if I'm working from 7 to 11 service, I was telling them service starts at 7 o'clock. I can't possibly be here and, you know, and be over there, you know. And they were like, you do know this is a temporary, you know, you're not guaranteed to be here like in another 2 weeks. I said, you know what, God bless you, give it to somebody else. So I got up and I walked out. And I didn't feel any fear or anything like that. I was just saying, I felt like if I would have put that job in front of God, then I would have kind of, you know, I would have messed it all up. So like a week later, she goes, Lonnie, you're something. We're going to give you your hours. Drum roll. Yes, now you can clap. Give it up. So, you know, I wind up getting hired, and all of the guys would go downstairs for break time, and they were so pissed off. And these were guys that had been working there for years that didn't get a full-time position. They just kept them as casuals and floats. And I remember this guy, Freddie Dickerson, little fat, short, stubby guy. He said to me, he's like, yo, we all want to know. And you know, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't respond the right way. He said, we all want to know how you got a full-time position and your own floor. And I was like, who want to know? Because I was just newly coming off the streets from selling drugs. And I still had a little bit of the old street mentality in me.
You would still do that.
Yes. And I was like, probably. So I was like, all right, check this out. Whoever wants to know how I got the position, at 3 o'clock, meet me outside and back, and I'll let you know how I got the position.
Nobody met you.
Nobody met me outside. And he tried to clean it up, and you know, I said to God, I was sorry. I shouldn't have responded that way. I think I was, you know, like I said, I was a little rough around the edges, but you know, God can do anything.
That was a good one.